You're listening to the Odo Show podcast, your source for real cleaning talk and tips. Presented by OdoBan, the original odor eliminator since 1980. Here are your hosts, Val and Dave.
Broadcasting live from the top floor penthouse suite of the OdoBan World Manufacturing Headquarters here in wonderful Warner Robins, Georgia. You're watching
The Odo Show. I'm Val.
And I'm Dave, and we are back with the only cleaning show that matters.
Well, at least the only cleaning show that matters to us.
Exactly. So in this episode, we are talking holiday scents. Now, scent and fragrance is tied to memory more strongly than any of your other five senses. Now, maybe you've got a memory that ties Christmas into a fragrance or a scent. You know, we get a lot of scents this holiday season that we don't get the rest of the year, so it's very easy for those to transport us back to our childhoods. You know, we always used a live tree when we were growing up. We had the fir or the balsam, whatever they were shipping down here to the sunny south that year. And of course, when you've got a live tree, you have to trim the limbs off the bottom before you put it in the stand, right?
Right.
We'd always save those, and we had a gas stove. My mom would take those cut pieces of pine and put them with cinnamon sticks and whole cloves and orange peels. Put them in a pan and just set it on the stove where the pilot light was. And it would stay warm all through the season. You'd walk in and it smelled like spice and oranges and tree.
And Christmas.
It just smelled like Christmas. And man, I smell that today, and I am right back there as a kid, you know, excited about presents and Christmas and family, and it just takes you right back.
Oh, you know, one of my favorite smells was my dad used to make a Bacardi rum cake. So you're talking vanilla, butter, rum, of course, you know, and those smells. Oh, even as a kid, I mean, of course, I
couldn't have the rum cake.
I had to watch out with the glaze.
Yeah, it was a little on the rough side.
You know, growing up and everything, it was just those yummy smells.
So what about you guys? Do you have smells that you love that are part of the holiday season that take you back? What are your favorite memory smells? You know, maybe it's the smell of fresh pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving, or maybe it's the Christmas trees, or maybe it's rum cake.
Hey.
Tell us about it in the comments. We'd love to hear about what triggers your memories for the smells this holiday season.
That's right, because I know that you guys all have your own scents and memories, so we would love to hear what you have to say.
Now, we're all spending more time this time of year indoors in our homes, and so having your home smell nice is more important than ever this time of year. And we've got a lot of things we're going to look at to this. You know, we've got these scented candles set out. We got vanilla and apple cider and fresh pine and peppermint.
It's not just ambiance. We actually have something going on
Yeah, we actually have stuff that you get to stick around to see. So we put the candles out, and everybody likes either candles or wax melts. Maybe it's air freshener.
All the above.
So you're putting everything out.
Well, maybe not all at one time, but I do like them all.
Well, you know, these are only a part of the fragrance landscape in your home. If you're using, say, OdoBan to clean your kitchen or your bathroom, or you're spraying it on the sofa or maybe on the carpet to freshen things up, you're adding more layers of fragrance to your home. And so it's difficult sometimes to find cleaners that are the exact same fragrance as the candles or the wax melts you've chosen to put out in your house.
I don't even know if you can.
It's difficult. You know, cleaners are a whole different sort of species than candles and air fresheners. So we've got some ideas. Instead of trying to match those exactly, to look at pairing your cleaning product fragrances with your chosen candle scents so that you're not having a clash in your home, but you're actually enhancing it. We're going to call them scent pairings.
Well, that's almost like a wine tasting for your nose.
Exactly. All right, so we've talked about the fragrances we've got of the candles here. We're going to talk about some fragrances of OdoBan. Now we're using this OdoBan Scent Sampler Kit. This is really nice if you want to try our different fragrances, or if you want to do some of these scent pairings on your own at home. So let's dig into this. Do you have any guess as to what the most popular fragrance is for holiday candles?
Personally, I would say that it would have to be like a fresh pine, balsam, Christmas tree smell.
Ding, 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 ding. Yep, winner.
Smell.
So it is always fresh pine or cut balsam or something like that. And it's designed to replicate the smell of that fresh Christmas tree. You know, more people these days have fake trees than ever before. I know we do, and so we have these set out. Now, as part of this fresh pine fragrance, you've got the smell of the cut wood, you've got the greenery, the sap, all that sort of woody goodness, and all the, I could get into talking about terpenes and d-limonene and talk about the chemical side of it, but all I know is it smells good. So if you're going to pair something with a pine, I'm going to suggest, like a fine bottle of wine, our original eucalyptus OdoBan. Now, the woodsy scents of that actually pick up the natural scents, the floral notes in the eucalyptus. Smell that together and see what you think there.
That blends really well.
It really does. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think so smelling it separately, but it really just sort of opens up to sort of a broader forest smell.
Yes, it gives you more of a woodsy smell. It's kind of like that balance between the meadow and the trees, the forest.
Yeah, it's a good one, exactly.
Oh, it's a nice one. I like that.
Now, moving down, the second rank is typically some combination of like fruit and spice. Now, this is what we usually have in our house, like a warm apple pie or something. This particular one is
Thanksgiving
smells. This is apple cider. So you've got your apple fragrances, that sort of fruit smell, and then you've got the clove and the nutmeg and the cinnamon.
Very spicy.
All of which vary. Now, all of your spice fragrances, your fruit, whether it's apple or pear that's becoming popular, have sort of bright notes in them. And that works really well with our citrus scent, which of course is actually
that makes sense because it goes back to what you were saying about, when your mom would put the stuff on with the orange.
Exactly. Smell that and see what you think.
Oh, yeah. That's perfect.
See, that works really well. Just sort of the bright notes of the citrus open up the spice. You get a whole different sort of experience.
And you don't think about doing something like that.
Exactly.
But here's a pro tip for you. Okay, so like when you're in the candle shop and you're sniffing, your candles and all, and sometimes, you really can't get the full effect of them.
Yeah.
Well, you can't light them, otherwise you're buying it.
Yeah, they get really angry about that.
So here's a tip, is if you take like your thumb or your forefinger and you just kind of rub on that and kind of warm the wax up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It takes it brings out the oils.
Yeah, fragrances smell different depending on the temperature. That's a good tip.
My mom taught me that.
Mom is smart.
My mom was smart. She was.
So the last two we've got here are something that's a little different for holidays. Now, everybody likes cooking sweet treats during the holidays, of course. And so sweet baked goods type candles are really popular. This is a vanilla scent. And most of your baked goods candles, whether it's cookie fragrances or cake or buttercream icing, have that vanilla sort of component to them, right?
Yeah, because they all have that in there, actually.
So something else that has a vanilla side that most people don't realize is it's one of the notes in a lavender fragrance. So our OdoBan lavender. This is an interesting pairing.
Wow. That vanilla candle
I really like
actually...
that.
Yeah, it kind of tones down the sharpness in the lavender because lavender can be kind of piney, which actually would be another good one with the fresh pine.
Lavender is also not a bad pair with pine. We've actually done that.
But that gives it more of a creamy smell.
It is, and lavender actually is used in some cooking. So
that's true.
The idea that these go together is pretty makes good sense when you think about it. I really like that one. Now, the last one we've got is something that's really only started to gain popularity in the last couple of years, and that's a peppermint candle. Now, we've got peppermint here.
Love it.
But we've also got in the marketplace things like frost or snow, these sort of cold, fresh fragrances.
Yeah, it's a nice crispness to it.
Now I'm actually really happy with this pairing. This took me a little work to figure out.
Okay, this is the one that really puzzles me because...
You know what our lineup is.
I
don't have
what
a
the
peppermint
lineup
OdoBan,
is, but
right?
yeah. So what would you...
What we do have is a fresh linen OdoBan. Now that sounds strange, right?
Yeah, because I think of summer when I think of a fresh linen.
But smell that together.
Wow.
The fresh notes really work well together.
They really do. There's that crispness of this, but then, you get the crispness from the...
Well, the peppermint, of course, you've got that sort of cool openness of the mint.
Yeah.
And it works really well with that sort of clean freshness of the cotton.
I wouldn't have thought of that because, like I said, I was thinking summer.
Sure, everybody markets this as, fresh clothes hanging on a line somewhere in the sunshine, whoever actually does that. But there's not really anything summer about a fresh linen fragrance, and it goes really well with those frost type things.
That really is
That's
nice.
Sort of my unusual pick for
it.
Well, I hope you guys have had a good time hanging out with us. We've had a good time hanging out with you here on a rainy night in Georgia. So keep an eye out for us for the next live show, and until we see you then, make life fresh.
Thanks for listening to The Odo Show, presented by OdoBan. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Until next time, make life fresh.